Hey everybody, it's Christine. Today I am up with a new episode of Scrapbooking Boys to Men, and this time we are on letter G. So I was trying to figure out what to do, and my teenage son reminded me that I should scrapbook about him loving the Green Bay Packers. So I'm doing a layout about his love of the Green Bay Packers today, which I don't know that I've ever done that before. I did do one where we visited Lambeau, but it's been a long time. So this was a really fun one to do. I pulled out some sports-themed paper and stickers from Paper House Productions to get myself started. And as soon as I saw the zigzag paper, I knew that the golden yellow and the deep green were a perfect match for Packers colors. So I am going and I am just fussy cutting those two parts out. Very tedious, but the end result was totally worth it. And so I'm just going, just using a fine tip scissor and cutting along, and then I will use those both as an element within my layout, because I didn't have a pattern paper that was just perfect on its own. So this was a fun way to create a Packers themed background. So you can see I've also got this green and golden yellow patterned paper that coordinates perfectly with those zigzag borders. And so I am going to add one onto each side, and then I'm going to line it with the zigzag, creating a really cool monochromatic look along the borders. Now, today's layout specifically is a really good example of not trying to force things. I had a sketch actually that I was working with. I had a specific approach and plan going into this, and it was not working. It wasn't working at all. I was completely stuck. And so you're going to see in just a few minutes, I'm going to completely shift the direction of my layout, and then it ends up being a layout that I absolutely love. So it's kind of funny how that works out, but I want you to be able to see that. I want you to, sometimes we don't give ourselves permission to stray from the plan. And really, we should be able to do that. If we can't do it anywhere, we have to be able to do it in scrapbooking, right? Can't always stray from the plan for dinner or school or that kind of stuff. But heavens, if we can't do it when we're crafting, then we've probably lost some of the fun in it. And I get caught up in that too. I'm using a sketch that's got a horizontal design, so I have to work with it. Well, you can see right now, this is okay, but I just have no idea where to go next. I'm sitting there, I'm trying to pull up the zigzags and see if that looks cool. No, that looks dumb. Is there something that I can do here? Now, I do pull out some football paper, also from Paper House, and I'm going to fussy cut some big footballs out. And so that's kind of a start in shifting my direction, but I still am stuck. So I have this football sticker that says football, and it's that golden yellow color again that would be perfect for my title. But once again, I'm forcing it. It is not fitting on there quite right. And yes, the color is great, but the arch of it is not working. And so I'm really struggling at this point. So I'm going to completely flip my layout, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees and turn it into a vertical design. And that is going to make all the difference in the world. So let's go ahead and get to that. Now, one thing I have to fix before I can do that is by turning it 90 degrees, I've got words on this yellow golden paper. And so they would have been going sideways, they wouldn't have, it didn't work. So I cut out a new strip, and I'm not going to even try and pull the old one up. I'm going to just tuck this one under. Thankfully, I had another sheet of this cardstock, and so I could just grab it and cut out one so that the words are going the right orientation for my new the new direction that I'm going with this layout. Now, how did I land it shifting at 90 degrees? Basically, as I was sitting there and I was creatively struggling, I thought, I could turn this. And so I pulled up the pictures and I pulled up the football and just shifted them over. And immediately I knew I had a winner. And you know how that goes when you're working with a layout, and sometimes it's like, and then other times you're like, oh yes, that's exactly what I was going for. And so this was definitely one of those times. So now you can see I've still got my picture stuff together there. I'm going to just shift it over, and I'm not going to end up leaving that football word on there specifically because it just doesn't end up working with how I expand the title. By doing this specifically and freeing up all that white space in the middle, I allowed myself to create a bigger title. And before I was limited because I had that patterned paper up there really wasn't room to do the title that I had in mind. So I'm taking these letter stickers right now. These are foam letter stickers from Simple Stories, and I am spelling out the word Packers. I could not believe what a perfect match these letter stickers were for the colors of this layout. I was just shocked because, there's so many shades of yellow, and it can be too bright or too saturated or too unsaturated. And, it's always a challenge to get colors to match up. And these ones were just absolutely perfect. And so I'm spelling those out, lining that up across. It's also adding some nice dimension. You can also see that I tucked another football in on the left side of the layout. And so I just fussy cut that from the Paper House paper. There are several footballs on that paper. They're all kind of at a wonky angle. So I've just really picked the ones that would work the best. And knowing that I could tuck some corners under and hide them and stuff. Like the one on the right side is going off the page. That's because it's not a complete football. I needed it to go off the page to look right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out this cardstock sticker pack. This is also from Paper House, and I'm going to spell out Green Bay. These letter stickers are cardstock. They're shorter and they're brown and look like they have a football print on them, like the little dots that are on footballs. And so they were, again, another good match, and they were perfect for bringing in that brown in another spot. So once again, I'm just lining up my T-ruler there on the side of the layout and adding those on. Now, I'm going to also pull out a sticker that says, "Are you ready for some?" And I'm going to cut off the football part, and I'm going to just use the "Are you ready for some?" above the Green Bay Packers. So it says, "Are you ready for some Green Bay Packers football?" And the football is going to go down at the bottom. The football is actually an acrylic piece, an acrylic title from Bella Boulevard when they had a football-themed collection. And it was just what I was looking for. You saw the football word that I had earlier. It just wasn't quite right with the way it arched. And so this one was perfect, and it brought in some more dimension. So that was a win as well. I created a cluster of embellishments up above it, including some 3D stickers and some cardstock stickers, both from Paper House. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some stars, because you just can't go wrong with stars. And since I have plenty of patterned paper left, I am going to work with that. So I punched out some bigger ones, and by bigger I mean they're going to be bigger than my green ones, out of the yellow patterned paper, and I'm just adding those top to bottom to play up that vertical look that I've got going, and just draw the eye all the way up and down the layout. Now, I tried doing some bigger green ones, but it was too uniform. It just didn't look quite right for the look I was going for, which is kind of a sprinkling of stars or a trickling of stars down the layout. And so I've got this little teeny tiny punch, which I can't tell you enough, invest in those little teeny tiny punches. And by invest, I mean when you see them at Michael's for $1, grab them, especially in those basic shapes: a star, a butterfly, a circle, a heart. Those 4 I use regularly. And they're just those little teeny tiny thumb punches that are, they don't cost hardly anything. But I get so much use out of them, using them kind of like the same idea as enamel dots, as just an accent on the layout. With that in mind, I'm going to add some enamel dots now, and if you're guessing I'm going to use brown, you are correct. I'm going to add in a variety of sizes of them, again, just adding into that trickle and sprinkling look of the stars. And I'm going to add in a few golden yellow Nuvo drops as well. So really doing multiple things to add to that accenting. And that is pretty much it for today. So I love how this layout turned out. Absolutely love it. And my son also loves it. Be sure you head over to Susanna's channel. I will link you up to it down below to see what she has created. And if you're looking for more boy layout inspiration, click on my playlist here at the end. I will link you to that, and you can check out a lot more boy inspiration. I've been doing a lot of teen boy layouts lately. So thank you for being here. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and we will see you next time.